Breaking news out of Hallis Hall within the past hour, hour and a half or so. Backup QB Tyson Bagent has been signed to a 2-year, $10 million extension. We're going to bring in Fox 32's Chris Kay to kind of talk about this. He's live at Hallis Hall. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good, Elizabeth. How are you?
This is exciting. Was this expected?
I don't know about expected, but I think there were some idea of, hey, wait, this could become a possibility, especially after the last week on Sunday when he threw for nearly 200 yards in the preseason game against the Buffalo Bills. We all watched that one, and I think we started to see the progression that he's had under Ben Johnson. I think that's kind of been the storyline, is kind of seeing how well that he's battled for the second quarterback spot with Case Keenum behind Caleb Williams. And now the fact of the matter is that he has taken this offense and become very good at it, not only, but he's also fit like a glove. And I think that's something that kind of led to this extension.
He's kind of a fan favorite, yes? I mean, we're fond of him, aren't we?
We're very fond of him indeed. I think last year, I think it was the beginning of training camp. There's something that just lives rent free in my mind is when he walked up to the podium and he was going to start talking. It was his turn to address the media, and we were like, "How was your summer?" And he's like, "Well, I spent my summer grinding my absolute face off." And he started a list of all the things that he did, all the workouts that he was able to do, and one of them was like a mile burpee run. It was a very strange thing, and I was like, This sounds like something that would probably kill me, but for him, this is just normal. That's just how he does his thing and how he operates. And he's a very hard worker. And I think during a radio interview, General Manager Ryan Poles said that he said he's one of the hardest working guys on the team, and it shows. And it's really showing in how he's adapted to this offense and adapted to a lot of the changes we've seen in the last year.
And it seems like picking him up is really starting to pay off for the Bears, right? And do you think bringing in veteran Case Keenum, I don't know, kind of put a little extra oomph behind him?
I think it was a little bit of extra oomph, but I also think that may be a reason why he's adapted so well to this offense. Case Keenum's a guy that is not a savvy vet isn't a way to put it, but this is a guy that's been around the league. He's seen a lot of things, and he's a very notable guy. I mean, he's Case Keenum, for instance, is the Division I FBS leader in passing yards, and it's a very historical guy, and he's had a lot of success in his career. But he came here to challenge for the quarterback two job, and it seems like Tyson has run away with that now, especially with Case being out with the leg injury. We haven't seen him. I don't think we've seen him the last week at practice, but. Tyson had an opportunity to take it and run with it, and he did. And you got to give him all the credit for that part of it too.
Is there any sort of reading between the lines right now with this for a 2-year, $10 million extension? Is there any, or is it just a 2-year, $10 million, or is there kind of we're trying to read between the lines on this one?
I think it's interesting if you really try your hardest to read between the lines, just because we really don't know what it means. If it means that, hey, one day he might challenge for a spot to challenge Caleb Williams. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this is Caleb's team, and I think they've been very upfront, though, that they believe that Tyson is a starting caliber quarterback in the National Football League. He's started games, and I think that's the big thing. We've seen a lot of quarterbacks, especially now, who are going to have a chance to start as rookies. Tyson's not that. He's had the opportunity to have experience in this league. He started 4 games as a rookie, as an undrafted rookie, which isn't something that's really heard of. Usually teams would err on the side of bringing in a veteran, but they trusted him as their backup role with Justin Fields the last couple of years, or 2 years ago, and then last year with Caleb Williams too. And this year with the success that he's had and the work that he's put in is really kind of stuck with this new coaching staff. And I don't know if down the line that he'll challenge for the starting quarterback role in Chicago. I think it's very firmly Caleb's, but it wouldn't surprise me if down the line another team came calling and said, "Hey, we really like this guy. We want to give him an opportunity to start," and the Bears would do right by him by sending him somewhere else. But that's way down the line, because right now he's a Chicago Bear. He's tied up. He's behind Caleb Williams, and he's going to challenge Caleb with the amount of work that he puts in at quarterback.
Does this give any extra boost to Caleb, knowing that and do they have a good relationship?
Oh, they have a good relationship. I think it's so interesting because they come from two not different backgrounds, but Caleb being a very high profile quarterback recruit, and then Tyson being a guy that played at Division II. I mean, they're two different sides of the coin, to be sure, but they get along very well. They challenge each other, and I think they're two guys that bond together with the hard work that they have to put in at the quarterback position. It's the hardest position to play in sports, in my opinion. So I think right now you look at this and you start to say, hey, like, these are guys that maybe different, but they have a lot in common actually. So I think there's a lot that challenges and there's a lot of support that goes in there too.
And it seems like it would just be a little extra confidence just within the locker room, right? Given this guy who you said only Division II, and now he's signing an extension deal for 2 years, so maybe a little extra confidence going into that third preseason game. Yeah.
I think the confidence part is a big thing, but I also think that this stands out to a lot of the players. If you start to look at them and say, hey, this is a guy that's worked super hard. He's not guaranteed a starting spot, but he worked his absolute tail off. He's doing everything he can to stick on this team, and the front office is going to reward him. I think a lot of the players, not just the players that are trying to earn a roster spot, but a lot of maybe some of the star players kind of know that too, because this has become a theme with Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears, where if you put in the work and if you put out on the field, and if you can take the goodwill, I guess, and you can turn it into production in some form of capacity, this front office is going to take care of you. We've seen that, especially with Joe Tooney. They got to deal with him done this offseason. And you turn the clock back to last year with DJ Moore too. They made sure to extend him after coming off a pretty good, solid year. So I think there's a lot of goodwill that this front office building up with not just the stars, but with all the other players too, where it's they'll take care of you if you put in the work.
Listen up, kiddos. Hard work pays off, right? This is evidence of that. He'll obviously get to play on Friday, right, against KC. But we do think also that Caleb will. We'll see a little bit of both.
We'll see a little bit of both. I think Ben Johnson talked a little bit about that today. He was like, I think he said something along the lines of it. We don't know how much Caleb's going to play, but he is going to play. But I think we'll see a lot of extended reps for Tyson, just kind of like we saw on Sunday too, where he played well into the second and third quarters. Depending on where Case Keenum is with his injury, I think we'll see a lot of Austin Reed too. I'm excited to see how those guys kind of take the next step in live reps with this offense. But I think all eyes will be on Tyson Bagent, because there's a lot of people that have taken, like you said, he's become a fan favorite, and a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing him play on Friday.
It feels good as a fan to read this news today. Anything else going on up there at Hallis Hall today?
Oh, it's a little tough. They got some tough injury news today. Terrell Smith is out for the season with, I believe, a torn patellar tendon. And it's also, we're waiting to hear about Austin Booker, Dominique Robinson, guys who left the game on Sunday with injuries. It's a little bit of a tough day, but it's a little bit of an easier day because they're preparing to go travel tomorrow and then play on Friday, and then they're done with the preseason, and then we start thinking about roster cuts. So there's a little bit of that looming, I guess, unspoken thing, which is, hey, roster cuts are coming. So if you want to make a good impression, you're running out of chances to do it.
All right. Ugh, injury news already. We're only 2 games in. Well, it happens. Huh?
I know.
All right, Chris K., thanks so much for being live from Hallis Hall for us. We appreciate that very much.
Thank you
So much.